Anderlecht nil, West Ham United 1. It's finished. It's 9 points from 9 for West Ham United in the group stage of the Europa Conference League. We're not top yet, or officially through as top, but it's very much looking that way as the Hammers pick up another 3 points on the road in Belgium. At Lotto Park. Before we get into it, drop a like on the video, subscribe to West Ham Official if you're new. A Schumacher drilled finish puts us one step closer to promotion, to getting up into the knockout stages of this competition. This is the game day breakdown, match day review for Anderlecht nil, West Ham United. Before we get into it, drop a like on the video, subscribe to West Ham Official if you're new to catch on our sponsors, SRM Carver and Son, by clicking the link in the description down below. So there we go. I'm joined by Phil, as I was for the build-up show. It took a long time ago, Phil.
I know. I mean, it was sunny outside earlier when we was talking.
Yeah,
pitch black.
Yeah. The lineup, of course, we discussed it a little bit earlier on. Now looking back on it, do you think Molly's made the right choices?
Absolutely. I thought we played really well, to be honest with you. I thought we moved the ball about really well. We had given ourselves loads of chances, and I felt like no one really put a step wrong in my eyes. Had a lot of chances, which I felt like we should have converted. But hey, it's better than not trying.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, definitely. These are the games where Moyes has to change things because, as we said earlier on, we've now got the squad depth. And I said at the start of the season, Moyes has got to use it. He's done that tonight. It wasn't at all pretty until the substitutes came on, but they held it out. We made the substitutes with 25 minutes to go. They came on, they changed the game. We won. Perfect. Done.
Job done. Easy as that. And, we're bringing on the big dogs as well. So, they're going to be causing a bit of havoc. And, well, I was right about one player getting a goal today.
Certainly were. It wasn't quite a 25-yard strike, but it was a flipping good goal.
Yeah, please explain it to us, the viewers, and some of us whose chances of watching it just went off.
Yeah, so I think the ball was played from Rice to Paqueta. Paqueta with a lovely flick through, reached Schumacher on the edge of the box. He gets it. He doesn't even look at the goal. He just drills it straight into that bottom left-hand corner. A striker's finish, unlike Michael Antonio a little bit earlier on in the game. I'm going to bring on another guest to talk about Gatesy from Force Remind. Gatesy, how are you?
I'm very good, my friend. How are you?
Yeah, not too bad. What did you make of it, mate?
Listen, we got the 3 points. It wasn't our best performance that I've seen in a long while, but at the end of the day, we've gone into the Lions' Den. We've got 3 points. We're 9 points from 3 matches. I think that puts us in good stead to. I think we have to be favourites now to make it as group leaders, group winners at the end of this phase of the contest. If put it this way, if we don't finish top from here on in, I think something's gone drastically wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because I think there's now a 5-point gap between Anderlecht. Yeah, we've got to play them again, and then we've got to play Silkeborg and STSB again. But yeah, that if we lose that 5-point gap, I think something catastrophically has gone wrong. Luke, hope you are well. Phil, overall, I mean, there were some players that I thought were questionable tonight, and we'll get into that in just a second. But overall, I thought positives. I thought Downs bossed the midfield excellently.
Yeah.
I thought he was brilliant. I thought Bowen looked good. He had that bit of zip back about him. I thought Dawson was very good in defence as well. And then there's 3 substitutions when they came on. I thought they were made at the right time. I thought they were the right players to go off and to come on personally. And it proved to work because we flicked a switch, we played a bit of saucy football, and we scored.
Well, that's what happens when you've got a lot of talent on the bench. Must be what it's like to be Man City or something, when you can have all these top players on the bench. Bring them on straight away. They click well, and then you get a goal. Yeah, you're right. I think it was the right players who had to come off. Yeah, Downs, I thought it was good to see him get his chance, and I feel like he took it pretty well. Hopefully, in the not too distant future, we'll get to see him partner Declan Rice in that midfield. It's good to see Bowen, getting that old spark on again. Yeah, it was good to, we had chances. Granted, we squandered quite a lot, but the important thing is getting the job done.
Yeah.
So,
No, definitely.
and also not conceding as well.
Yeah, and we did grind it out. We made those substitutions, and they made a massive difference. Let's bring Mike in. Mike, what did you make of it, mate?
Yeah, job done on it. Basically, we just did a bit of a professional job.
Yeah,
Kept a clean sheet, brought the players on to win the game, and it did the job. I mean, couldn't have wished for anything better, really. I mean, we didn't get any injuries, did we? No, don't think we picked any injuries up.
No.
So yeah, great job done. And the substitutes were just right, weren't they?
yeah,
I think he's going to grow into a great player for us. I think.
yeah,
Guy, he doesn't need to do all those little flicks, but that's just showing his confidence. That's great to see. Yeah, bringing Rice, him, and Schumacher on is a luxury we would have dreamed of a couple of years ago, wasn't it? To be totally honest.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and to be fair, at times it gets to come to. At times, I did think you could tell that this was partly our second 11, but I thought we were professional in the way we handled it overall by bringing the subs on and scoring and evidently winning. I thought we looked professional, and I thought we looked like an experienced European outfit, and we knew what we were doing.
Yeah, I think there was. I mean, you've kind of touched on it just a little bit earlier. There was a few players that we had that. Let's be kind and say that they weren't hitting the heights that we would like them to hit. I'm being very nice to them. I'm not sort of like trying to be too negative, because we've got the 3 points and we're looking good. But there were a few players that I think went a bit missing, and I dare say we'll talk about them at a later stage. But we did the job we needed to do. I think we started quite well. I think after about 10 minutes, I was sitting there thinking that this is looking very good. Our build-up play was good. We was creating a few half chances in the final third, and then they started to sort of come back into it. And from then on, it was a bit of a sort of like a seesawing affair for the rest of the half. I thought we started the second half brightly, but it just seemed to me that in the final third, we just seemed to lack that little bit of, whether it was quality, whether it was a little slice of luck here and there, to just sort of finish off a move and get our noses in front. The substitutions, they worked. I did think that it took a few minutes, because I did think the first sort of like 5 minutes or so after the subs were made, I did feel that they did kind of, there was a couple of phases of play where they sort of looked like they were adjusting to the pace of the game. But once they did, I mean, Paqueta combining with Skamaka to get the only goal of the match, I mean, you can't really sort of like go wrong.
Yeah, and Phil, I know you didn't watch the I know you didn't watch the last 20 minutes or so, but if you did see any of it, I thought, and I'm sure you can imagine it, we made the substitutions. Paqueta just looks, he just looked experienced, and he looked, he oozed class, if that's the right way to say it, and that's what we're going to be seeing in the future. Skamaka seems to now be really starting to go for it now. What's that? 2 goals in 2 games in all competitions, 4 goals in 5 in Europe. He's starting to put the clutch down and go for it now as well. So
that's it. This is it. This is that time now where they're gonna click. They'll find that confidence, and they're gonna have that sort of good sort of working relationship. And you're going to see a lot more of them two linking up together, especially when they're starting games. I did see them come on, and then my thing stopped working when they got their free kick, when Warner got booked. That's when it all stopped. But I knew they were the right players to come on, especially. And when I'm going to see the highlights later on tonight, when they upload that onto YouTube, I'm going to have a good review on the goal. But these are top players that we signed, and I can't wait for them to be continue to make these good link-up plays together, getting goals, hopefully, as we progress into this tournament.
Yeah. Mike, we were sitting here a fortnight ago thinking these transfers aren't making sense. They're not working. This is not working. And we're sat here 2 weeks later, beginning to see what's happening here. Paqueta's starting to go. Skamaka is sizzling. It's all it's all starting. It was going to take time. I think we were a little bit impatient, and hopefully now we can just go.
Yeah, it was always going to take time, wasn't it? Let's be fair to Moyes. But I think he could have. I think we need to change the way we play. I've said that before, Jake. I think we need to change the way we play now with these players that we've got. I don't think we can, just bang it up for Souček and hope for someone to run off his header. I mean, we can play football now that through the park. I mean, that first touch from Paquet. I mean, to just pink that down the wing like he did.
Yeah,
that is a touch of an absolute quality player. I mean, if he'd have messed that up, we'd all be going, what the hell was that? Your first touch of the ball, but he just scooped it on the outside of his boot, straight into the path of, I can't remember who, someone ran down the right flank.
Yeah.
Perfect weight of pass from a little flick like that was just quality.
Yeah.
And that's, I mean, there's going to be times when he's going to give the ball away because that's the sort of thing he can do, but it's not going to work every single time. But I think we just got to play to him. And when it does work, we got a good chance of scoring a goal. If it doesn't, then we got to have players in there, ready to soak it up again and win the ball back. But something I've got to say is that save by Areola.
We'll talk about that in just a second. I tell you what, it was a brilliant, and I just sat there and went, this guy is just not right. I just want to take some more of these comments and then we will talk about that. James says, what a goal. Luke says, not far off our second 11. Our squad compared to last season is chalk and cheese. Dawson back, 2 clean sheets is a very good point. We look stable at the back again. Nick, hope you're well. A good win for the boys. Paqueta and Scamacca could be the combo we have been waiting for. I agree. Paqueta, his name is, according to every pundit out there. All right. Luke's in with the cheeky jokes. Maybe comment of the night. I haven't decided yet. My only issue with Paqueta is he looks like he may give silly free kicks away. Also, he spends more time on the grass than Bob Marley. You want your little do-do-do, you've got it. Usual suspect, Scamacca must be the first choice forward now, 100%. Yeah. Right, a couple of things I want to discuss. The Areola save, a couple of players that didn't live up to expectation, and then some final thoughts. Gacy, I'm going to come to you first. Shades of Seville at home. It was in, and it was not.
Yeah, very, very reminiscent of that save. There's sometimes in a game where if a goalkeeper pulls off a save of that importance, of that magnitude, it can really break the hearts of the opponents. And that was exactly what happened. I mean, the save was a magnificent save. It was a powerful, powerful header, but he reacted well, strong hands to get a good parry on it. And I mean, you just knew that when he made that save, it's like, listen, they're going to have to do something really special to beat this guy tonight. I mean, he hadn't really had that much to do, if we're being honest about it, but that's when a goalkeeper really earns their corn. When they've not really been called upon, they've been sitting there, they've been getting a little bit bored, and then bang, they've got to react to a sort of like a strike from distance or a close range header or whatever it is. Magnificent save, absolutely brilliant.
Yeah, and Phil, I know you probably didn't see it, but I 100% agree with what Gacy said there. He could have literally had a chair and a cup of tea for most of that game because he had barely nothing to do. He comes, the ball's put into the box, the ball's nearly behind him. It's not too far away from him, but he gets there, he gets down because it was a slightly awkward height for him, and he parries it away. Just the reflexes on it were absolutely incredible. And somehow this guy's not starting in the Premier League.
Well, that's the good thing about when you've got 2 good goalkeepers in a team, isn't it?
Yeah.
But Areola's going to get his chance for sure in the league. And I'm just, how you've been describing it as well. I'm trying to picture it in my head. How good this save is. But when I see it later on, I'm going to really look at that in awe because that's it. Because he, like I say, barely had much to do. I think he did probably 1 or 2 saves, I think, before that happened. But that's the most important thing about a goalkeeper is, even if you ain't got much to do, when you ain't got that one chance, you got to make it count, and he certainly did. It's a game changer.
Yeah, and it's difficult because he comes in every week in the in the Conference League, Mike. He pulls off great saves. He barely puts a foot wrong, but he just can't start in the Premier League. I think he's proven himself once again to be good enough tonight, Mike.
Definitely. I would give him a go, but we know what Moyes is like. If he's going to stick with his man, I mean, Fab has not really let us down yet this season, and I'm just waiting. I don't want it to happen. He'll have a bad game, and Areola's in. I think one bad game, and that'll be it. I'm afraid, and I don't want it to happen. And if it does, I hope we still win the game or get something out of the game, because Fab's been a great servant to us, and love him to death. But I think it's getting time for Areola to take over now in the Premier League.
Yeah. A couple of players I want to discuss that perhaps didn't live up to expectations tonight. Would I be right in saying Lanzini, Benrahma, any others you'd like to add to the pot?
Kufal, Johnson.
Yeah.
Kufal, Johnson.
I thought those four were absolutely just so far below standard. It's just not true. I mean, the one from Benrahma, the shot, that chance he had carved for him, Bowen absolutely did all of the hard work. He put it on a plate for the geezer.
You could have scored that, Gatesy.
Mate, I could have scored it with a blindfold on. I could have scored it with both my feet tied together. Everything, mate. Well, maybe slight exaggeration on my part, but honestly, listen, he's a professional footballer, right? He's in the box. Listen, look at the footage. The nearest defender is several yards away from him. He's got an opportunity to get his head over the ball, just get the shot on target. If a defender's on the line and he makes the block, then okay, you've done your job as the striker. You've got the shot on target. If the defender does their job, that's fine. Didn't get it anywhere near on target. He's leaning back. That's going one place. It's going in row Z. And he had a couple of other chances where he's not executed the strike properly. It's a routine save for the goalkeeper. There was 2 strikes that I could remember that he's had either side of that chance that was just like really tame effort, giving the ball away, poor passing, poor decision making. Now, I'm a Benrahma fan, but honestly, tonight he was, well, I can't say it because you got young ears, Jake, and I shouldn't do it to you. But seriously, he wasn't very good.
No. Phil, anything you'd like to add to that?
I think that's it, really. With obviously Benrahma, we know on his day he can be really good, but he is always inconsistent. So at the start of this season, where we were saying for him to start because he was the best player, where we all underperformed, but now he had his chance. He had his chances, what he should have converted, and rightly so should have, and he didn't. So it was right for him to come off. But that was those chances he had. Anyone could have scored that, like you say. So it's back to the bench for him, I think. And regarding Sofal and Johnson, I think when you're playing that system as well, obviously at the start of the season we had Johnson playing in centre back as well. So I think we can see that that's not his natural place. And Sofal, he ain't the fastest of people. He's not the greatest attacking either. So I feel like he's probably going to get found out a bit. So it's a case of if and when Harrison Ashby comes back, give him a chance, or possibly look in the market for someone for your more quintessential right back or right wing back in the modern era, where you get someone who's really good going forward.
Yeah. Mike, do you think tonight we've what's the word? We've come to the realization that perhaps some of these players are maybe not good enough. Lanzini,
probably, Jake, but we need these players.
Yeah,
we need them, and it is quite obvious. You look at it tonight, Benrahma. I mean, he had a chance tonight.
Yeah, massive.
He had a chance to get himself back in that team. He's been dropped, and Moyes has said to him, "Go on and go out there tonight, score me a couple of goals, have a blinding game. I can't drop you."
Yeah,
but he hasn't put that pressure on, and I don't think the lad can play under that pressure. That's the problem.
No,
and Moyes has put the pressure on him, and he can't really play under it. So it's a difficult one, and I'm a fan. I'm a fan as well, Gates. So honestly, I like the lad because he can make things happen. But it just seems to me that when the pressure's on him, he can't do it. I mean, Lanzini, we know he's had his best times, but he can still do a job for us, and we need him. in a long season and a lot of games. Let's move on. Johnson, first game back. You've got to give him a little bit of credit and a little bit of leeway. He's been out for a long time. So, yeah, he was untidy and he wasn't very good. I'm a big fan, again, of him. But I think he's probably our second choice right back, because Kufel, who we're going to come on to now, he's looking pretty poor at the moment. I'm afraid he's off the pace. And for me, he's our third choice right back at the moment.
Yeah, and I think
Which, if you'd have said that a couple of years ago, we'd be laughing. We'd
and that
what
and that
is he on about?
and that £5 million is looking a little bit more. And to be fair, he has been brilliant, and yes, he's been more than worth that £5 million. But I think Phil, he's just not getting the basics right at the moment. And Stephen Moyes has put trust in all those players tonight. And we've done okay, but maybe not in the future. I think it's probably what Moyes is thinking now.
Yeah, I think he's going to look into that, especially if these players, especially in the right back situation, if they're going to continue to play a bit, below par, shall we say, and he's going to have to look into the market, I would say, or give Ashby a chance when he's fit. These are, it is basic stuff, and if you're not getting that, you're going to get dropped, and then worst case scenario, you're going to get sold in the transfer window. So far, look, when the time comes and he goes, we're all going to remember the good times, aren't we?
Yeah. And
so been a great player for us. When we signed him, 5 million. He was like, always did like a 7 out of 10, maybe an 8 out of 10. Didn't have to be world class, but he just got the job done. He was never poor. But where he's had he's had a couple of niggly little injuries as well, which doesn't help, and it does affect your development when you're coming back. And fortunately, he's just lost that spark.
Do you know, I'm going to say 2 words to you, gentlemen. Sebastian Schemmel.
Yeah. Remember it well. Yeah. Top. He was a good player, Jake. He was. And he was very consistent for us.
He was right back, hammer of the year. First season, he was absolutely magnificent. Second season, waste of space.
Yeah. Almost like the other one on left back, Ilunga. Remember him?
Yep.
He was like that. We had him on loan.
Yeah.
Good player, and then he just fell off it. But
do we think, do we think that, and I'll put it to all of you, that do you think David Moyes will put trust in these players again? Because by no means, this was bold tonight. And me and Phil reacted to it live when we got the lineup. I was surprised about how he left Rice and Souček both on the bench. That surprised me. How he left a couple of other favourites out and went for it with the second team. Do you think it wasn't at all convincing, but maybe that's the thing to do. Grind it out for an hour or 70 minutes, bring on the quality, and we win. Maybe that's what we got to do.
Absolutely. I mean, I don't think it was. It was definitely not the worst game we've ever played.
No, definitely not. Yeah. I tell you what, though, we've played worse games this year with the first team.
Absolutely, that's the thing. I still feel like we moved the ball around pretty decently. We had the chances. It's not like especially in the first half, we sort of did everything but score.
Yeah.
But look, as long as you get the job done, if you got these star players, even if they're on the bench, you got quality. Bring them on. You get results, and that's what happened this evening.
Yeah, exactly. Let's fire through some of your comments. Keep them coming in, guys. Drop a like on the video, subscribe to West Ham Unofficial. You can find Gatesy over on Forged from Iron on YouTube as well. Go over and find him there. Luke says, I think Areola might be a bit David James. Great shot stopper, but crosses and the easy stuff not so much. Yeah, he has shown little glimpses of that. And was it Silkeborg away? He was a little bit dodgy for that disallowed goal. That probably shouldn't have been. But you can't doubt his class tonight, because
Absolutely.
and I think not only how good the save was, the fact is I can't remember him he made that comfortable diving save to his left in the first half, but apart from that, I can't remember anything else. And hats off to the lad. Superb. EP 1-0. I'll take that. Lucas was just taking the peel hole. Skamaka with another goal. Lovely. And what an unbelievable save. Perfectly summed up, EP. I agree. Yeah. Absolutely brilliant. Hi all. What a night out you all from her. Johnson did okay. Thought too he got tired in the last 20. I thought we were struggling down that right hand side because Soufal and Johnson, both of them, were getting the basics wrong. I thought tonight. Luke says Lanzini is the one I wouldn't like to play with him. He is not mobile and doesn't have the ability anymore. Benny has no confidence anymore as well. Exactly. With Lanzini, I don't see what he offers to it now. He's not got any pace. He's not breaking up play, winning tackles. I thought, and one player we haven't discussed who I want to come on to now, I thought Flynn Downs was man of the match tonight. He's came in 2 games. And he's been man of the match in both of them. I thought he was superb. I thought he did Lanzini's work for him tonight, as he did Souček's work for him in the last Europe game he played. I thought he was excellent.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I like him. I would just love to see Downs, Rice, and Paqueta as a midfield 3.
Yeah.
Oh yes.
And that would, for me, that's our best 3 in there.
Yeah.
Whether Moyes will or not, but. We can, I don't know about you guys, but that's the 3 I'd pick there all the time.
Yeah,
I don't get it. The thing that I don't get is, and I know he's had a couple of half decent games of late, but let's be completely honest. Thomas Souček for a little while now has been bang off the pace, and he's played. Flynn Downs had a man of the match performance in my opinion against FCSB. Got dropped. He's had a man of the match performance again today. Let's see what happens Sunday, because if he's back on the bench again, I really don't know what this kid's got to do. I mean, what's he done? Is he is he scratched the gaffer's car in Rush Green or something? What's he done?
Key out and just went along it.
Yeah, I mean, I can't work it out. It's like you got someone that's played games and has looked really poor for a long while, and he just keeps on playing him, and then Flynn Downs comes in. Gets a man of the match performance, gets dropped, gets another man of the match performance. If he gets dropped again, it's like, seriously, what's he done?
Yeah, and I think the lineup on Sunday is interesting because Paqueta didn't start tonight, where I think most of us would have expected him to. The perfect game, he came on and was the difference tonight. So I would expect logically that he could start on Sunday, which I'm excited about because I think he could rip Fulham a new one if he plays anything like he did tonight. In his small little cameo. He is a little bit sloppy from time to time, but a couple of passes to flicks, I thought just the quality just oozed through him, and he just looked brilliant. I want to scroll down some of these comments. Where are we? Luke says, before injury, Lanzini was all about acceleration or a quick turn, a screwed knee. Shame. Yeah, bang on. I agree.
Yeah.
Areola literally saved that result. Solid performance from Downs. Didn't look like scoring until Skamaka came on, although the B team did generate chances, just couldn't finish. Bowen looked okay. Yeah, I'll break that down. Downs, I agree. Skamaka came on. I mean, Antonio tonight, I think, is mixed. I didn't think he was fantastic. We bring Skamaka on. He has a more difficult chance than what Antonio had. That big golden chance he had, and he took it. He's just a natural striker. We know this.
Yeah,
we just look 10 times better when Skamaka's on the pitch.
I think with Mickey is that I think he worked hard. I don't think that one thing you can never ever give a criticism towards Mickey is his lack of effort. He will always give everything he can for the shirt, and that's very, very commendable. Tonight he just lacked quality. Skamaka had a limited amount of minutes on the pitch. He comes on, bang, in you get. Yeah. That's the difference between a proper. A sort of like tried and tested, number 9 by trade, rather than, with all due respect to Mickey, and I love him, but he's a winger that's being played as a forward for the last 2 years. He's done a great job, but he's not a natural born striker. Skamaka is.
Exactly. And as well, and Phil, I think when we look at it, do you think now Skamaka should be starting pretty much every game in the Premier League? Do you think he's got to take over that reign now?
100 million %. He's the only proper striker that we have got. Antonio's done a good job for us over the last couple of years, but everyone knows it. He's always going to be a winger who had to play as a striker. You can tell by the way he moves, the way he's always drifting off to the wing. Where you got Skamaka, you pay all this money for him, scoring the goals for Sassuolo, being the main man for Italy as well. We paid the money for him. We know all the good stuff about him. We put him in the right places on the pitch. He'll score you goals, and that's what he's already been doing for us. So when we start him, we should play to the best of his ability. You're gonna get 20 odd goals from him.
Yeah. Oh, 100%, 100%. And just anybody that wants to see the Paqueta flick and the Creswell reaction, it's up on the channel now on the shorts part. So if you go onto YouTube channel, go on the videos part, you can see it. It's priceless. It's the best 5-second video you will watch today. I can personally guarantee you of that. But let's take some more of your comments. Luke says, home to Fulham is a perfect game for Downs, but it means dropping Souček. That will not happen. Mike, I mean, Luke's got a point. We want him.
We've only got to look at the team he's put out tonight and the subs he's brought on to tell you what the team's going to be on Sunday. I think we all know it, don't we? I would love to see Downs, Rice, Paqueta, Antonio, Scamacca, Bowen as a front six, and I think all of us wouldn't argue too much from that, or like to see it happen one day. But we all know that Souček's going to start on Sunday. You know, from what he's done tonight, he is nailed on. He will start, and he'll probably start with Rice, Souček, and Paqueta. He'll probably go with Scamacca, Bowen, and Fornells, something like that. But I wouldn't. I'd just go for it. Just go for it.
Absolutely.
If we get another 3 points on Sunday, we could jump up a long way up the table. Pressure comes off, and then I think we can see the best of people like Paqueta. I really do.
Yeah,
but
and it's exciting.
It is.
Yeah.
It really is. But, you know, we all know it won't happen.
To be fair, whatever lineup he puts out, and just seeing these glimpses, and I hope that Moyes doesn't trap these players, that Gacy, whoever wants to take this, it's exciting because of the players we've got there. We were apprehensive because of the start of the season, but you can see that the class and the quality of these players are coming through now. They've worked with each other for a couple of months now. They're starting to tick, and players individually are starting to get into some form. And I think we're going to be a real force when we get into it properly in the league.
Yeah, definitely. You know the old saying, form is temporary, class is permanent. You know, world-class players, they always have dips in form, don't they? So once these players are all, they've had about 2 months now, some 3 to settle in. When they feel confidence, it's like a natural high, isn't it? You're just going to be playing to the best of your abilities. Everyone's just going to be working in unison together, and start of the season, that could be just a distant memory if we carry on like this. It only takes one win. If we lost that game against Wolves, it would have been a completely different story. Having that one win against Wolves, and now this one tonight, it's going to bring our confidence even more up. We get another victory over Fulham. We can look up again and just have more positivity flying around. It's exciting times, and I still think there's going to be a lot to come from Paqueta. Scamacca, I know he's going to be bossing it as well, 100%.
Oh, exactly. Let's take some more of your comments. Keep them coming in, guys. Drop a like on the video, subscribe to West Ham Unofficial if you are new. We're going to keep going for a little while longer. John says Downs can only improve playing alongside Bryson Paqueta, and that's bang on. And Gatesy, I've said it after the FCSB game. I'm going to say it again tonight. He's played alongside in midfield Souček, who did nothing that game. Lanzini tonight, who did nothing. Put him next to Rice and Paqueta a little bit further ahead. That is a midfield and a half. But it's just whether Moyes will do it.
Yeah, that's the one thing that worries me, Jake, is that I do lack the faith that Moyes will actually roll the dice and do that in a Premier League match. But the thing is, I mean, who is it said? I think it was Luke said earlier, home against Fulham. Let's be completely honest. We're the home team. Our expectations, rightly or wrongly, because of the last 2 seasons, our expectation levels have been raised. Okay, so if you ask most West Ham fans what were your expectations going into this season, I think most would say, if we're challenging for sort of like the top 8 and we're getting deep into the cup competitions, I think most West Ham fans would be reasonably happy with that. Fulham's expectation is to finish 17th, or is an absolute minimum, right? So, as far as I'm concerned, this game against Fulham is a game that we absolutely should be looking at to go and win. Now, I don't really see the value. This is just my opinion, right? I don't see why we should play two holding midfielders at home against a team that are looking to avoid relegation as their ambition.
Moyes actually attacked tonight, didn't he? And we want to see that again.
Yeah, but also is that if you have Downs, I think if you had Downs as the holding midfielder, you could then allow Rice the license to be that box-to-box player that he wants to be. Because let's be honest about it, is that when Souček is asked to be the one that holds as Declan Rice goes, and then when the move breaks down, he's not as effective as being the shield as Declan Rice is. But I think Downs could be.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, definitely.
And putting it all together. And if Moyes does do what we want to do, I think we could go on a run. It's going to be saucy football. It's not going to be Grandad Moyes with his, and all the fans saying this and that we play negative football. You put all these players in a team on form. We're not playing negative football. However Moyes sets us up. If you get Paqueta, Christ, sound like the flipping commentator, Paqueta, Scamacca, and all of them, if you put them together and they're on form, they're going to play well. And somehow, if you spend 170 million quid, you're going to get some quality and you're going to play well. We just need a bit of patience, Evolution,
not revolution.
Exactly.
That's it.
Just a bit of patience, Let's have a look at some more of your comments. Fremer says, I think what keeps Downs on the bench in the Premier League games is his lack of attacking qualities. Moisey still hopes Souček will start putting them in the back of the net. He's holding on to that, isn't he? And I just hope he puts it to the side for Sunday. Scamacca had that virus as well. He will now start in the Premier League. So he's coming to a completely different league with a quite a high expectation. He's caught a horrible virus. He's came back from it. He's scored 4 from 5 in all European games. He's scored a brilliant goal in the Premier League. This guy's going, and he is the striker. We were all told for 2 years we need to wait for the perfect striker. Have we found it?
Well, I think we have, but time will tell still.
Well, if you talk to sort of people that know about European football, they were turning around at the end of last season and saying that there were 3 young up-and-coming strikers that people said were the next big thing. One of them was a guy that went to Manchester City, who has been doing reasonably well of late.
Mm-hmm.
The other one was Darwin Núñez, and we've got the other one, and his name's Gianluca Scamacca.
He's our Italian hero.
There is another song about him, but again, I won't sort of like ruin your young ear rolls about that.
Thank you very much, appreciated. Fremer says, in my opinion, Fabianski hasn't really done anything specifically to play himself off team. I agree, but right now I would put Areola in the goal for the Premier League from now on. I 100% agree. Areola's better. I don't know what we told him to persuade him to stay by saying you're going to sit on the bench in the Premier League again for a few months. But as long as he's happy, we're happy, I think.
Money
talks.
Exactly, maybe. Mike, did you have a reaction there of Moyes playing attacking football?
Broke, mate. Yeah, I think it was me lunch still, but there you go.
Oh, right, I see. Mike was off on holiday on a scouting mission. Are you going to bring us back the next big thing, Mike?
I don't know what I got on Lanzarote, mate, but
he's off. And Mike, I expect a big tan when you come back, and I want one of them nice, continental hats, and we've got David Moyes coming back all tanned up and all,
shades on and everything.
Yeah. The shade. I'll tell you what, I want a picture with Mike with his shades on, hitting the roads, hitting the streets of Lanzarote. Mike, is that happening?
Oh, yeah, don't you worry, mate. Yeah, it's happening.
Right then, so Anderlecht nil, West Ham United 1 professional performance. As I said a little bit earlier, actually, you can find the Creswell reaction to the Paqueta flick up on the channel now. It's going slightly crazy, so go and find it, go and watch it, add a view to it. Thank you very much indeed. Final thoughts, let's go around the room. Who wants to start?
I'll go first.
Go on, Phil. Fill your boots.
Right. We got the job done. Simple as that. That's all I want to say.
Yeah.
Bring on Fulham.
Yeah, bring on Fulham. What do you think Moyes has got to do now, moving forward, Gatesy?
I think he's got to play the players that are in form. I think he's got to play the players in the correct positions. And if there's players that are not in form and not doing the business, then they've got to bide their time, wait on the bench until they're being given an opportunity. Whoever that player is, if, and if it happens to be his son-in-law, Thomas Souček, then so be it.
Mike?
Yeah, I agree with Gatesy there, totally. I mean, we need a squad, like I said earlier, and the squad done a job tonight, but a few players got really found out tonight, in my mind. If they can do a job in Europe, even if it's not for a full match, but for 70 minutes here and there, great, because we're going to need that. But I think Moyes should be finding out now who his best 11 really is.
Yeah.
And having a crack at putting that best 11 on the pitch.
Yeah, exactly. Before we start wrapping things up, we're going to have a look at the group standings. And Frem has reminded me here. Anyone notice Silkeborg beat FCSB 5-0?
No way.
What?
It was 2-0 after 19 minutes. 5-0. And we're going to have a look at the group standings then. So it's a 5-point gap between us and Anderlecht. So now the goal difference of FCSB is not looking pretty, with Silkeborg third with 3 points. So they're creeping up on Anderlecht now. And FCSB, firmly you say, well, they might not be out of it, but of course they are bottom out with 1 point. So just focusing on us for a second there. So we've got a 5-point gap. We've got to play Anderlecht. As long as we don't lose to Anderlecht, I think we could probably say, we will win the group. It's between Anderlecht and Silkeborg. Their FCSB, you'd say, are unlikely to get that second spot to go into the round of 32 qualifier. As long as we get through, we don't have to play that flipping qualifier in January. We can get through to the round of 16. That's good. But Anderlecht and Silkeborg is going to get a bit interesting. And hopefully we can stay well away from that. But yeah, it's looking good. 5 points clear with 3 games done. 9 points available. 9 points got.
Well, we're through.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but if we do the job against Anderlecht and the Silkeborg FCSB game ends up in a draw, we've won the group, haven't we?
I think you're right there, Gates. Yeah, I was looking at that.
Yeah.
I think that's it.
So let's look at the fixtures. Will it show me the fixtures? It will show me the results. I don't want the results. All right, here we go. Right, so next up, so so if so we've got West Ham. So if we win, Gatesy, you're saying, and then what else has to happen?
We go to 12 points, and if FCSB Silkeborg is a draw, we've fully won the group.
Yeah, we have. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's it.
With 2 games to spare, that wouldn't be bad.
No, that would be good. Exactly. Gatesy, you're like Rachel Riley. Have you ever had that comparison before?
Yeah, Rachel.
Listen, my legs are much better. Don't you worry about that. I look much better in a dress and high heels.
Moving on. Thank you very much for watching.
The looks and everything.
It's got exactly. Moving on. Thank you very much for watching this video. If you've enjoyed it, drop a like on it. Subscribe to the channel. West Ham picking up another 3 points. 9 points on the board from 9 available. We are just give us the trophy now. Let's be honest. No, I'm joking. You never know. This year, we might win an award at West Ham Unofficial. And West Ham might win a trophy as well. It'll be double trouble out the world of West Ham. But yeah, a good performance tonight. All smiles, happy hammers. I think we all are. Anything else you'd like to add before we go, boys?
I think that's it.
All I'd like to say is, I think, like I say, just to recap, I think it was a professional performance. I think we've got the job done. I think we've got 1 foot in the last 16, which obviously will mean we avoid the teams dropping down from the Europa League, which is an absolutely huge achievement. Like I say, if we can get the job done next week, and fingers crossed there's a good result for us in the other tie, then we can then go into the following 2 games. We can play like we did against Zagreb. We can give a few of the younger players, like the young lad, Ollie Searles, that went on the play, or Scarles, that was on the plane yesterday. He didn't get on the pitch, but the experience he would have got for being there. Hopefully, that will be a little bit of a catalyst for him and the other players that are in the 16s, 18s, 21s to sort of really up their game, because in a couple of weeks' time, if we play our cards right and it goes well for us, they might get opportunities to play in European games.
Yeah, And that could be a perfect opportunity for him. Mike, sum up tonight's game in one word.
Yeah, well, I'd say professional.
And anything else you'd like to add? Because I caught you mid stride there. I could tell.
I was just going to say professional job. And like Phil said, job done.
Yeah.
Really. I mean, the main thing is we got through it without no injuries as well.
Well, exactly. That's key as well. That's
Yeah.
key. Phil, one word, sum it up.
Decent.
Decent, we'll take it. Thanks for watching. You can find Gatesy over on Forged from Iron, West Ham United, all sorts of very nice stuff and original ideas, which we like, Gatesy.
Oh, and just if anyone watching that you might want to be aware of, I'm on the lookout for Zippy. I'm telling you now, when I catch up with Zippy, he is banging trouble.
Well, there we go. A couple of other things. Please, if you haven't, go and watch that Creswell reaction to Paqueta flick on the channel, because I can see on my studio it's currently got 15.7 thousand views. So go and watch it and add one to it. So yeah, because we need them. But yeah, Mike, have a great holiday. Phil, thank you very much for coming on. Gatesy, thank you very much for coming on. Come on, you Irons.
Come on, you
Come on, you Irons.
Come on, you Irons. We'll catch you soon on West Ham Unofficial. Cheers, guys. Merci, au revoir, and bye bye.